Second-guessing baseball managers has become a national obsession, particularly in postseason play when every decision made, every pitch stirred and every swing taken is magnified. Whenever something goes wrong, clearly the manager is an idiot. Millions of people honestly believe they know better, that they win with their tactical acumen if given access to the dugout and control of the lineup card. Trouble is, baseball is a profoundly human exercise. You can ponder the probabilities all you want, but on the big stage under intense pressure, players often defy them, for better or worse. They are not chess pieces. As Tony La Russa would mutter in times like these, men not machines. Why did Astros manager A.J. Hinch start Marwin Gonzalez once again? The man hit .150 in his first 12 playoff games this season with a .227 on-base percentage. If Marwin wore a 0-for-4 strikeout collar in Game 2 of the World Series, the masses would have howled. But Gonzalez hammered a game-tying, ninth-inning homer against Dodgers closer Kenley Jansen instead to force extra innings, where the Astros ultimately prevailed 76 to even the series at a game apiece. This season the Dodgers had been .980 when leading after 8 innings. 98-0. Jansen had not allowed an earned run in the postseason since Game 3 of the 2016 Division Series. He got Gonzalez to a 0-2 count with 2 nasty cutters. With Gonzalez doubtlessly looking for another pitch to dip, Jansen went for the knockout with his third pitch. "I wanted it to be up and in," Jansen said. "It was flat out over the middle. It was just one pitch and he got it." Yes, he did. That was just one pivotal moment in an insane game for the ages. Time after time players rose up or faltered. Time after time managerial strategies paid off or backfired. Somebody could wrote a book on this one night, taking entire chapters to describe and analyze the key moments and their impact on the contest's ebb and flow. Here is a quick sample of what folks were writing once the Game 2 marathon ended. Will Leach, Sports on Earth. The strangest thing about one of the wildest, nonsensical, downright lunatic World Series games of all time is that they're going to keep playing. Wednesday night's Game 2 at Dodger Stadium, a 76 Astros win, featured more home runs than any World Series game ever, and the most extra-inning homers in any MLB game. It was a contest in which 2 runs were likely saved by a ball randomly hitting a hat, and 1 run might have been saved by a ball randomly hitting an ump. It was a game that went 11 innings and was this close to still going on, deep into the night and the morning, even though the Dodgers were out of pitches and were thus an inning or 2 away from checking the rules to see if they could bring in a dog to toss a couple of frames. In a scary moment, a guy jumped into the Astros bullpen and it was basically the 27th strangest thing to happen all night. You're telling me that was only Game 2, that this series could be going on for another week, that we're supposed to just move on after that one of these teams is about to win a World Series for the first time in either 29 years, or ever, and that result already feels like postscript, the etc. There have been some amazing Game 2s in World Series history, but even the great ones are rarely remembered simply because of timing. We absorb it and process it and churn it out. Backstory for the drama that comes later, when we get close to a team clinching. But how are we to process this? It felt like baseball at the end of time. Michael Bauman, The Ringer. First rule of slasher movies: don't stop fighting until you know Leatherface is dead. Don't just hit him in the face with a pipe and run away. Don't just run him over with your car. And don't just plug in or closer for 6 outs with a 2-run lead and hit autopilot. If you've tossed him in the lake, wait to make sure he doesn't crawl up onto shore. If you've pushed him down the stairs, lock the door and light the house on fire. If you've hit one go-ahead homer, make sure you get some insurance runs. Kill Leatherface, then kill him again just to be safe. For the first time in their 56-year history, the Houston Astros won a World Series game, a 76-11-inning Game 2 spectacle that started with 423 no-hit innings from Justin Verlander and ended with a rapid-fire barrage of home runs, a World Series record-setting 8, that by game's end made Verlander's mere involvement feel like something you remember vaguely from a survey history lecture you slept through a decade ago. This game, contested between 2 titanically talented teams made up of conspicuously athletic men with a fondness for bat flips and complex handshakes, had as many heroes and goats as participants. Joe Posnanski, MLB.com. Where do you begin? Where do you begin with this crazy, kooky, cuckoo dream of a World Series game? Where do you begin trying to explain how the Astros lost, then won, then lost, then won, then lost, then won Game 2 against the Dodgers in Dodger Stadium? Maybe you begin with this actual quote from Astros manager A.J. Hinch after his team's epic 76 win in 11 innings. "We were pretty unlucky at the beginning of the game when Chris Taylor dove in center field and the ball hit him in the face ahead and kicked to Jock Peterson. I felt like the baseball gods were returning the favor by having an umpire standing in the way there. Yes, all that happened. A baseball really did hit the brim of Taylor's cap and bounce in a way that almost certainly prevented a Houston run from scoring. Later, yes, a wild Chris Devinsky pickoff throw that was headed for the outfield instead hit second base umpire Laz Diaz, preventing a runner from advancing. And here's the craziest part, neither of those is even close to the wildest play of the game." Bradford Doolittle, ESPN.com. For 2 rounds of the postseason and 1 game of their first World Series in 29 years, every scheme Dave Roberts drew up, his Los Angeles Dodgers executed. Until Game 2. Game by game, each hitter and each pitcher almost monotonously went about their tasks, like bubbles on a flowchart. Every actionable item was crossed off. Every checkpoint was reached, in time and with as little drama as possible. That all changed Wednesday. The Dodgers blew a late 2-run lead, then overcame a 2-run deficit in the 10th, and then nearly did it again in the 11th. Just like that, after 104 regular season wins and 8 victories in 9 games to start the postseason, the Dodgers have lost home field advantage in the World Series. The Dodgers scored 6 runs in a game started by red-hot Houston ace Justin Verlander and lost. The culprit was a bullpen that until the 8th inning on Wednesday had posted 28 straight scoreless innings to establish a postseason record. And the guy on the hill for the end of that streak, and the eventual blown save, was perhaps the most unlikely of any Dodger to let a little air out of their championship balloon. Closer Kenley Jansen. John Tyler, C.com. It all looked so simple, and so similar, as the 9th inning began. Just as in Game 1, the 2 starters dueled. Once again, the Dodgers had solved the unhittable starter in the 6th with a 2-out, 2-run home run. Once again, Kenley Jansen was in the game, ready to finish it and send the fans home happy from Dodger Stadium and his team to Houston with a 2-0 series lead. Then everything went supernova. 6 homers, 2 blown saves and a taco-gifting stolen base later. It was the Astros who had stunningly won Game 2 thanks to an unexpected stumble from a Dodgers bullpen that had been nearly untouchable all postseason. And after slumbering through Game 1 and the first 8 innings of Game 2, it was the Astros' fearsome lineup erupting for 5 runs in the final 3 frames, with the top and middle of the lineup doing its part. Tim Brown, Yahoo Sports. The Dodgers bullpen had not allowed a run in its previous 28 innings, and it had been ravaged. Jansen, among the organization's great success stories of this generation, had not allowed an earned run in the postseason since Game 3 of the 2016 Division Series. That was 14 appearances ago. That was 23 innings ago. Had discovered himself in those 8th and 9th innings. Had become strong and sure, added a reliable slider to that natural cutter, and when the Dodgers began mowing down the Arizona Diamondbacks and then the Chicago Cubs and then, for a game, the Houston Astros, Jansen had rumbled in from the bullpen 8 times, faced 31 batters, handled 9 innings, and allowed in them 2 singles and 1 walk. He had become a forward game plan get it to Kenley, as it will remain, as this too will pass. Mysteries of the universe. How are the Rams preparing to play the Giants after their bye week? Is Jose Altuve as tiny as he claims to be? How much more can the Cavaliers put on LeBron James? Megaphone. I'm human. You can't do nothing about it. Just get rest today, tonight. Look forward to tomorrow. I mean, I'm not going to beat myself to death. Jansen, to reporters after blowing leads in Game 2 of the World Series.